All right, guys, welcome back to Crypto Talk. So let's run down a few things with you here for Bitcoin. So while everyone has been bearish, I've been explaining why this is stupid bullish. So if you haven't seen my post on Twitter and or the private Discords or Patreon, I basically laid out the accumulation range, the manipulation, then the expansion. This is what happens every single time. It's happened since the bottom of 2022. Where you enter a sideways range, you have a fake out to the upside, a fake out to the downside, and then up. And then you start to accumulate again. You have a fake out to the upside, a trap longs to the top, squeeze them. And then you have a fake out to the downside, a trap shorts, then squeeze them, and it's a rotation. So it's no different than any of the other theses I always talk about, where price moves in waves. It goes up, and then it goes back down, then it goes back up again, and it's cyclical in that nature. And then as the actual market cycle starts to grow, it gets more exponential over time. So this is no different. You have expansion phases, you have accumulation phases, a manipulation, then an expansion. This is no different. We've done this entire time. The only reason why this is so drawn out, this was drawn out for kind of the ETF phase. So as really spot ETF was available, BlackRock was holding this sucker sideways for 9 months, basically. You had some fake outs, you had accumulation range, some fake outs, and then we pumped again. So what do you think is going to happen now? We had a fake out to the upside 4 different times. You had the accumulation range, a break at the downside to freak people out. You tag some very key levels. You're holding above the 50 Fibonacci level. You're holding above the 100 EMA here on the weekly. I believe we're now back above the 200 EMA on the daily, and we're approaching printing a trigger wave here on the weekly as well. So we just had a nice bullish break up. Doesn't mean we're not going to pull back down, and it doesn't mean this can't just whittle sideways for another 2 to 3 weeks before we have a nice big push. But there's a lot of bullish signs in the market. U.S. dollars fading in value, oil's dropping, interest rates are going to start coming back down. Global money printing has been going haywire. There's so many other factors. We haven't been this bullish since 2020. The only thing difference here is we don't have 0 interest rates, but they're coming back down. The U.S. and many other governments have to roll over their debt on a 5-year debt cycle, so they are looking for lower interest rates to do so. It's physically impossible to roll over their current debt, as large as it is, and it's something in the 4 to 5% range. It's not physically possible. So interest rates will come back down. Quantitative tightening is done. Likely in the next 2 months, you have quantitative easing kick off in the United States along with money printing, and then we're off to the races once again. On this chart here, short-term 4-hour, we've been in this falling channel for a very long time. I still have for most coins, including Bitcoin, the yearly VWAP is the target. If you don't know how to get this, go over to any of the, I think it's still free, indicators, look up MTF levels, and you can find their levels in here. They have everything from New York, Hong Kong, Australia. They'll tell you the daily opens as well. It's very, very, if you're a swing trader or scalper, you need to know these levels. But also my Mongo Pro Trader does put this stuff in here. So I'm targeting in the near term, whether it's today, tomorrow, sometime this week, kind of the yearly high. Still think we're going to get a squeeze like we did, what was this, a few days ago? This was on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday was up. No, that wasn't Wednesday. We hit 87.5 last week, really. So this is the target. You want to liquidate some more people, probably hit our head and reject and come back down. We start to make a big move above this, we are going to make lots of moves. You've got the true anchored VWAP from $109,000 coming in roughly around 91,961. That's also very close to bullish break in structure, which we're not quite there yet. We really need to get back above, let's call it 95,000. Once you break above 95,000, any kind of back test or drop, you're looking for longs. It's just, that's the nature of the beast right now. Unfortunately, right now, we're still in a downtrend. Any kind of big rejection, you're looking for shorts. Or in my case, I'm too darn busy, so I'm really just looking for finding money to put into spot. Really big into AVAX right now, but we'll get into a different story another time, another day. The other thing I wanted to touch on if this does print a green dot here on the weekly for Bitcoin, the last time we printed one was down here, and we haven't printed one in a long time. So that was September of last year, and we went up 74%. So let's pull that for you real quick. From that close to that high, 73%. So what would 73% from this week? This week, again, the week just started, so I don't know the candle close. But let's assume from the open, 73%, what does that give us? 73% roughly gives you $150,000. Now, mind you, that took, let's look up my other tool here. That took 120 days, basically. So drag that over from here. What is that? That could take us all the way out to July before we hit that. So you got to be realistic. This isn't going to go straight up. You don't want it to go straight up, because if it goes straight up, it's going to come straight back down. But that is what's nice about these weekly candles. It did go straight down. A lot of times there's no market structure here. It's going to get sucked back up. So, and vice versa. So you have, these massive candles down and up. They usually get filled quickly because they create these fair value gaps to fill. So you do want to have some kind of market structure to fall back on. So I wanted to at least point that out. There's just so much other bullish information here on the daily too. You've got all of the EMAs are really starting to point back up and about to cross back over again and be a bullish cross. The last time this happened, the market Cipher B ran up to around the 50 line. So that was roughly let's see. From trough to, let's go from green dot to red dot. That's a 300% move. That's not possible. So let's do, what is that done here? That is so my brain's still half asleep. This candle to that red dot, a 13% move. So if we could continue from here, 13% move brings us to close to right around the yearly VWAP. How about that? Funny how that works out. 93,500. And then hopefully we get a liquidity squeeze from the shorts being liquidated and stopped out, and to get pushed above the $95,000 mark and get like at least a 1 to 4 hour candle close above that. And then we will have the bullish breaking structure I'm looking for in terms of making a bottom. So we are in a Wyckoff potential spring, which I'll get into in a different video. I don't want to make this one too long. I just want to touch base since it's been kind of boring and not much to talk about. But basically, if that is the case, we have a big move coming. It's just a matter of time. Now, creeks after a spring are usually very choppy. They are this exact manner where it is very rhythmic and you would think it would create a liquidity grab down below, but it doesn't, technically speaking, and it'll just start forming a new range, kind of like somewhere in that yearly VWAP range before making another big push up, and then it's going to come back down, and then you're rocking and rolling at that point in time. So I will do a different video on that in the short term, but I wanted to get this out. AVAX has had for a while a bull div on the daily, so it's just been auto buy, like most of you. I'm out of money basically, so just waiting in terms of the spot bags, just holding, and then I have a lot of other small stuff that's been absolutely obliterated. So KDAO, things of that nature, was down like 85% at one point in time, had rebounded. I think I'm only down like 50% right now, but still things are not pretty until basically the dominance starts dropping on Bitcoin, which it has started to do again. The US dollar is dropping in value. Global liquidity is going haywire. There's a lot of positive information coming. I think it's just going to make stocks just go absolutely bananas. And any risk on asset like Bitcoin and crypto is just going to be silly. And I think you're not going to have that typical the summer lull where you're going to have boring bearish action. You're going to have quite much like the fireworks here on the 4th of July for the U.S. independence. You're going to have rocking and rolling basically. So, which I think will end up leading to us being super overextended come end of summer, beginning of September, beginning of fall. And that would lead right into my conjecture of a Bitcoin top being somewhere in October of 2025. So let's say we start stair-stepping our way up here, and we really start making some progress. And then just say we're rocking. Let's say we hit, I don't know, 250, 300,000. By then, this market Cipher B is going to probably print a triple hump, if that's the case, on the monthly here. It's probably going to recover like this, a green dot. It's going to be a triple booby. Where we got my other marker. Where currently it's like this. It's going to go like this again. It's going to dip some more, and it's going to do something silly. Or actually, not even that. Excuse me. It's going to be even more dire. It's going to be more. Each wave is going to get lower. So the second wave is already low as it is. So the third wave probably won't even show much momentum. It'll just kind of do like a little blip and already be fading down quite a bit as we hit these all-time highs, giving you a super silly, really aggressive bear div on the monthly. And then in my opinion, that's kind of all bets are off. Cash out, rotate into Bitcoin if that's your play. Otherwise, get the hell out of the market. Get into stable coins. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. So stick with the narratives right now. I think AVAX is huge. They have a huge gaming ecosystem. Banks like them, Bank of America, Citibank. They have artificial intelligence coming on their platform, meme coins. They've got everything going for them. The other narrative is obviously artificial intelligence. Don't sleep on that one. AI agents are pretty freaking amazing if you haven't had a chance to play with them. It's going to be a game changer for everybody. So that's going to be like the rush to get first to market with an actual good program. There are plenty of those about. Check out Mindscraft. They worked with Schizo. They worked with Gaia. Gaia is an AI decentralized network. A lot of really cool stuff coming on that we're going to implement into Fusio and BlockGuard. So there is some neat stuff on the horizon, but I don't want to touch base, guys. There's not much else to talk about. Nothing I say is financial advice. Best of luck. You want to find me here with a Crypto Black Wall on Twitter, the BlockGuard Discord. You need some private one-on-one coaching, head over to my Patreon. I'd be happy to help you. You pay for my time, and I will get out with a 1 hour call with you, and we can run down some things and some scenarios and how I can help. So I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.